I was dating this guy. He owned the studio. I was being consistent. I remember one day he saw one of my clips online and he was like, "Your work is disgusting." In a 2.5-year hiatus. But it was good to do that. Let's dig right into it. Daphnique, why did you take a 2.5-year hiatus from Unapologetically Daphnique podcast? So, what had happened was, the reason why I went on a 2.5-year hiatus from my podcast, Unapologetically Daphnique, is because of a man. A man. A man. What? Even hearing that sounds crazy. Because I'm known as the bitch with the gun. Hey, but we all make mistakes. So let me start from the beginning. I was dating this guy. He's a director. Music video director. And he had a studio in LA. And he told me that he wanted to do my podcast at his studio. Remind you, this whole time I had been being consistent with my own podcast after being dropped, after creating a podcast with a company called My Logic. That was the name of the podcast, not the name of the company. They didn't feel like it was getting the numbers that it should have got because of the amount of followers that I had. But podcasting was still new. And this was around like 2018. So podcasting existed heavy, of course, but it didn't evolve into what it is today, which is where people are now putting out podcasts, making clips, clipping that up, putting that out on social media, gaining a follower from the clips. That wasn't a thing. So I felt like I was a bit ahead of my time, but I always been great. So years later, I started my own podcast. Went from My Logic to Unapologetically Daphnique. It's a podcast about me not giving a fuck and talking about any and everything. You're going to see my views, whether you like them or you don't. You may agree, disagree, but you're getting the real me. And I'm bringing some friends along the way. So back to the story. I was dating this guy. He owned the studio. I was being consistent. I was renting a space in downtown LA. They got this website called Peerspace. And you go on there and you can rent this space. And I would like book 3 or 4 of my friends and try to shoot 3 episodes at least in a setting and have people come back to back to back while renting this space in downtown LA. And the reason why I rented this space versus shooting in my apartment is because of the aesthetics, you know. It's back before I knew about wallpaper. You know, I put the wallpaper up now. Knew about the look. It had the look I wanted for my podcast. So I rented the space. Being consistent. And he saw that. So he was like, "Hey, why don't you just shoot your podcast at my space?" And I was like, "Okay, cool. I'll shoot at your studio." Because I'm like supporting your business. And, you know, if people ask me where I'm shooting my podcast, I could just, you know, refer them to you. It just become a whole thing of somebody I'm dating. And then we also work together and network together. I shot 3 episodes in one day. I had Guy Torrey come, Royale Watkins, and Malik S. 3 episodes I shot with some of my friends who I feel are a very big deal. And to get them to donate their time and come downtown, because see, a lot of podcasts, they don't pay you to park. They don't pay you an appearance fee. You just show up on goodwill and faith. And when you have friendships and relationships, people show up to support you because they already like you as a person. So why not come out and support my friend, promote whatever I got going on, build with you until this shit is magnificent. He recorded all 3 episodes that day. I own cameras, several cameras. Right now I'm into Sony's, but before I had Canon. I would record the podcast, got the cameras, the lens, the tripods, everything. And I wanted to bring on my equipment that day. And here's the thing, you should always go with your first mind. It's like, I'm going to bring out my equipment, show up, I'm ready, just let me use the space. He was like, no, let me shoot it on my camera. So he owned Blackmagic cameras and he shot the podcast on his camera. So here's the thing, when people shoot stuff, they have it. We had got into a disagreement because he was the type of person that likes to put people down. And I don't know about other people, me in particular. I remember one day he saw one of my clips online and he was like, your work is disgusting. And disgusting, by definition, is such a vile word. And for someone that you're dating to say something like that is quite degrading, belittling, and as I look back now, very narcissistic behavior. Because being a woman in this modern world, a lot of men still want women to be traditional. So a lot of men can't accept that a woman's light is brighter than theirs. It takes a very strong man, because I feel like the other ones are quite weak, who can't let a woman shine. So I noticed that he would say little stuff to try to like eat at my confidence, but I'm a very confident person and I know that type of behavior. So, I ignored it. I just really addressed it head on like, hey, I don't think it's cool that you speak to me like that. If you want to continue to see each other, I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt and I'm going to give you a chance, an opportunity to correct this. He apologized for saying my work was disgusting. Remind you, he's a music video director who directs some of the most, would you use the word toxic? I mean, if people are all in the music videos and all the women, all they talk about is selling pussy and the men killing other black men, I wouldn't think that your work is at a high level, right? You're actually pushing black on black crime and just prostitution at this point. That's what you're directing on every project. You're not doing pop songs, love songs, R&B, country. You're doing rap music. And they're talking about those specific things. It's not conscious rap. You're not making a difference to the black community, right? The world sees these music videos and they probably think black Americans are just killing each other and selling pussy. That's it. So for someone to say my work is disgusting, I confronted it and I addressed it and I talked to him very nicely and said, hey, that's not what we're going to do. Move forward. When I shot my 3 episodes of my podcast in that studio that day, he wanted to sit in there. And when someone makes the comment that your work is disgusting, I didn't feel comfortable with him sitting in the podcast watching it, because in the back of my mind, what if you think that what I'm doing or saying is disgusting? I don't need your judgment. I want to be free to be myself. He got an attitude because I didn't want him in the room, which I already had brought my friend that was assisting me to come in and knew how to work the cameras or whatever, press record. So he showed us how to press record, which I own a Blackmagic because Meta gave me a Blackmagic camera. So I already knew how to work it. So I was like, okay, cool, just press it. That happened. We recorded the 3 podcasts. Awesome. Boom. Still on my consistency point of Unapologetically Daphnique. I hit him for the footage. And he said that his laptop was stolen, which was a lie. And he said that he didn't have the sound to the videos. So he gave me 3 videos with no sound. If you are a director and you do this on a regular basis, how the hell do you forget to record the sound And the audio is the most important part. The video, still put out the audio and stay consistent with, the Spotify and the iTunes and stuff like that. But the video, not having audio, the video is just obsolete at this point. So I got really angry and I was like, yo, why would you record my stuff? You had me kind of do that. I was fine with doing my own thing. You convinced me to come to your studio. You shot and you recorded it, no sound. And he just kept giving me the runaround. And it took him a while to even tell me that he didn't have the sound. So fast forward, we don't talk anymore. You know what I mean? Because I don't like people messing around with my work and my art. Leave me alone. He proceeds to block me on everything. And I felt some type of way about being blocked. So I'll pop up on him like, yo. But I wouldn't say or do nothing. I'd just be like, I see you. You stole from me at this point. You stole from me. You stole my consistency. You stole my content. You stole my voice because you didn't give me my audio. Fast forward, I decided to move to New York City. I remember hanging out with Dave Chappelle one night and he said something to me and it stuck with me. He said, every comic, if you want to be great, should live in New York City for at least 2 years. I moved to New York, November 2021. I decided to stay a year, sign a year lease. Oh, actually, I had a 15-month lease. 15-month lease. And I said, if I like it, I'll stay. If not, I'll leave. 15 months came. I didn't really like it. But I was like, yo, I'm getting better at stand-up. I can shoot my comedy special here, which is coming out on YouTube Thursday, April 11th. My first ever self-produced comedy special called Single Female will be on YouTube. End up staying another year in New York, and I said I'll just evaluate it again at another year. Didn't like it socially at all. All my friends are in Los Angeles, and my family is close by. So I was like, yo, I'm moving back. Shot my special October 30th, 2023. Moved back to LA, January 2024. Boom. I'm still talking back with this guy. Because some people will never leave you alone. And let that be a sign. If you walk away one time, stay away. He unblocks me, keeps calling me. Being cool. Not really having very many friends out in New York. You start to let the devil back into your life. So I end up talking to him or whatever. And just this person that I'm around, it's just like, yo, you start to realize why you stayed away from somebody because they're negative, they got a bad attitude, they're a bitter person. And that's a lot of the characteristics that he had. And here's the thing. Sometimes you think you can change people. If you just show them love, the right amount of love, the right amount of empathy, the right amount of support, that they will change for you. And that's just not true. They are who they are. People have to change for themselves. They will not change for you. So I came here and January, we kind of had like a little thing. I was like, yo, you're like not a nice person. And I was just like, you know what? Do me a favor. In my face, I said, pull out your phone. Delete my number. And I want you to never contact me ever again in your life. As long as you live on this earth. Leave me alone. And once I freed myself of that energy, Unapologetically Daphnique came back. I'm free, y'all. And I will be doing this weekly. Talking my shit with my friends. Talking about current events, life, politics, and everything in between. You're going to get to know me. But I'm back, baby. It's been a 2.5-year hiatus, but it feels good to be back. I promise. It'll feel like I never left. Check me out weekly. Unapologetically Daphnique podcast. I love y'all. Come see me live. I perform stand-up. When I say all over, I be like all over, but really the dates that I get just show up at those dates. Some of y'all can drive, fly, or just maybe I'm just in your city. Boom. But by the time you see me, you'll know a lot about me. Love you, and thank you for supporting. Bye.